Myself M. Sureka, lecturer in physics, Government Degree College, Pittapuram. Today's topic is boundary conditions at the dielectric surface. Take the boundary which separates the two dielectrics. Here, at the boundary, how will be D, displacement vector, and electric field vector? That is, the boundary conditions explains about the rules governing the behavior of E bar and D bar at the boundary between the two dielectrics is known as boundary conditions. First boundary condition is the normal component of displacement vector. That is, the normal component of electric displacement is the same on both sides of the boundary of the two media of different dielectrics. It may be defined as the normal component of displacement vector is continuous across the charge-free boundary between two dielectrics. Second one is the tangential component of electrical intensities are same on both sides of the dielectrics. First one is the normal component of displacement vector, that is denoted by D, is continuous, that is same across the charge free boundary, that is boundary having no charge. Charge free boundary means boundary having no charge. Charge free boundary between two dielectrics. Consider the two dielectrics materials epsilon 1, epsilon 2 separated by a boundary. Then how the displacement vector at this boundary we have to calculate. For that, consider small pill box having the height h, which is negligible height. For our convenient, draw like this. Here take the two surfaces, that is, this is ds and it is also ds. Draw the normal here, then ds, it becomes ds bar. Normal to this surface, it becomes ds bar. Here like this, ds bar, ds bar. So in these two boundary, the displacement vector is here d2 for epsilon 2 and it is d1 for epsilon 1 boundary. These two vectors makes an angle theta 1 in dielectric d1 epsilon 1 and theta 2 in the dielectric medium epsilon 2. So our definition is the normal component of displacement vector. So what here is a d1, they have two vectors. This becomes d1 sin theta 1, this is d1 cos theta 1. We have to take the normal component, so it is d1 cos theta 1. So d1 cos theta 1, we represent it as d1n, as d1n. So here also d2 cos theta 2 is the normal component. It can be represented as d2n. Its direction is inward, its direction is outward. So d1n is like this, d2n is like this. So total, take the integral so that we get the total displacement vector at the boundary. So it becomes d1n ds minus d2n ds is equal to q. Why? Because here minus indicates both are in opposite direction. d1n is inward and d1n is one vector is inward and one vector is outward. Here one vector is inward and one vector is outward. Always outward is positive, always inward is negative. So d minus d2n, here it is minus d2n. So d1n minus d2n, ds, take the common ds, and it becomes d1n minus d2n is equal to q by ds. It is known as sigma. Sigma is surface charge density. So d1n minus d2n is equal to 0 if the boundary is free from charge. Our definition here, continues across charge free boundary. So sigma equal to 0. When sigma is equal to 0, so d1n equal to d2n. So it is continuous normal component of n. So normal component of displacement vector is same, that is continuous at the charge free boundary when sigma is equal to 0. This is the first boundary condition. And second boundary condition is tangential component of electrical intensities are the same on both sides of the dielectrics, that is continuous on both sides of the dielectrics. For that we consider a rectangle PQRS. So work done in taking a unit positive charge around this is becomes 0. So total work done is 0. So integral E bar dot dl bar is 0. L is the length. Here SR and PQ is the length. The breadth is very small when compared to the length. So neglect in this side, the work done in this side is negligible. Why? Because breadth is very small. So integral E bar dot dl bar is equal to 0. That is work done in taking unit positives around the rectangle must be vanished. Here this is in this direction, this is in this direction. So must be vanish. So E1 sin theta 1. Here we take the tangential component. Why? Because E1 is like this, resultant, then it becomes E1 sin theta 1. So this is E1 cos theta 1. This is E1 sin theta 1. Here we take the tangential component. So work done in moving like this. So here work done in moving like this. So we take the tangential component is E1 sin theta 1. Here it is an opposite direction. Work done in moving like this. Here it is in this direction, here it is in this direction. Both are on opposite. So here E1 sin theta 1 dl into minus E2 sin theta 2 dl is equal to 0. So E1 sin theta 1 is represented as E1t tangential component, E2 sin theta 2 here represented as E2t. This is also tangential component. So that E1t minus E2t is equal to 0. So E1t equal to E2t. That is same on both sides of the dielectric 1 and dielectric 2. Dielectric medium 1 and dielectric medium 2. So tangential component of electric intensities, that is ET, are same. So 1t equal to 2t on both sides of the 1, 2 on both sides of the dielectrics is same, it is continuous. This is all about second boundary condition. Thank you.